Greetings, mathematicians. Today we're going to talk about the triangle sum theorem. But first, let's get to some bird jokes. All right, once again, I know those are kind of bad, but I like the first one. That one was pretty good. All right, let me get my screen set up and we'll get the notes taken. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, first of all, after doing the Desmo student activity, you probably realized that the sum of the angles in any triangle is equal to 180 degrees. And so we're going to use that theorem to be able to solve for missing angles. So sometimes they just give you values, like you see in the first triangle here. We have that two of the angles are given and one angle is missing. So all of these three added up should equal 180 degrees. So let's set up an equation. 65 plus 45 plus x, I'll just make this variable x, equals 180. And so we need to solve that. So these are like terms, those are constants. 65 plus 45 is 110, plus x equals 180. Now this is down to just a one-step equation. We need to take that constant over to the other side. And right now it's positive. We want to make it equal 0. So I'm going to subtract 110. That leaves me with x equals 70 degrees. And now if we add all three of those angles up, that will equal 180 degrees. Let's look at the second example. Well, you know what? Only one angle has the actual degree in the corner. But we see that little square in the corner, which indicates what type of angle. You got it. It's a right angle. And so I'm going to go ahead and put 90 degrees in there. So now we can set up our equation. 90 plus 40 plus our missing angle has to equal 180 degrees. Add those constants together. And just like on the other equation, I'm going to subtract 130. We always should get a positive answer for an angle. That wouldn't make sense if we ended up getting a negative. If we put 50 in for the missing angle, we add those up, and indeed it does equal 180 degrees. Let's take a look at if we have to solve for x. When we look at this triangle, we can see again, we've got that square in the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and label that 90 degrees. We're just going to add up all three angles and set it equal to 180 degrees. 90 plus 35 plus 8x plus 7 equals 180 degrees. So we have some cleaning up here to do. We're going to add up all the constants here, and I believe that will give us 132. And so now what we'll do, just like we've been doing, this is a positive, we're going to subtract 132 from both sides. And our last step will be to divide by 8. X equals 6. Now I'm going to go ahead and substitute that back in. 8 times 6 is 48. And 48 plus 5 is 55. And if we add I can just add these two. These two together will give me 90 degrees, and 90 plus that 90 would give me the 180 degrees that I need. Okay, but the question was solve for x, and we did that, but I always like to check the answer. All right, last problem here. So we have all the information that we need. We just have to add those up and set it equal to 180 degrees. Just add up all those constants. That would equal 120 plus 16 is 136. We'll subtract that constant from both sides. 180 minus 136, I believe, is 44. And our last step is to divide by 4. 44 divided by 4 is 11. Now again, I'm just going to substitute it back in. We've answered the question. 4 times 11 is 44. 44 plus 16 is 60. Now let's see if indeed that adds up to 180. And I'm going to add 40 and 60 because I know that gives me 100, plus that other last angle 80 would equal 180 degrees. We are going to be working out these type of problems here in the next day. So go ahead and get that glued in your notebook, and we'll continue on.